This is Lexi's audience.
Alright, so I have the entire world at my fingertips, and no, I'm not a magician or superhero, it's because I have one of these. While my cell phone can be great for looking up information in an instant or FaceTiming my high school friends, one aspect of cell phones causes more harm than good, and that is social media. I will not even lie, I'm an avid social media user, and I will find myself scrolling through Instagram posts or TikToks for hours. But I am not alone in this. Nearly all teens, 94% in developed countries, use social media platforms such as Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. According to the Social Media Victims Law Center, social media use appears to cause a decrease in self-esteem, which the group most affected being girls between the ages of 10 and 14. Today, I'll be discussing the impact of social media on adolescent self-esteem. First, I'll be discussing the causes of self-esteem issues before social media. Then I will talk about the causes due to the usage of these platforms. And lastly, I will discuss the potential effects of these causes. I will then conclude by offering some advice to prevent this from happening to you. It is no secret that adolescent girls struggled with self-esteem before social media was even around. Magazines, commercials, and television were just three platforms that promoted ideal women that teenagers went crazy for before the turn of the century came about. But there were no repercussions to these harmful actions. According to Jamie Nobles, even though it has been proven that these images of underweight and thin women are harmful to the body image of women, magazines and other forms of media continue to project these images of thin, ideal women. Along these same lines, specifically before cell phones, Noble also states both the 1950s and 60s were a time when women's femininity and traditional gender roles were stressed beyond all else. Women's stereotypes are not a new thing. There has always been a push to promote a certain body type, look, or aesthetic. The main thing that has changed over the course of the last century has been how it has been done. There was not such a widespread availability for magazines and television commercials, which was beneficial to the self-esteem of adolescents at the time. With the use of social media, there is a frequent access to these idealistic women, which makes adolescents a subject to a constant stream of self-consciousness. As stated previously, social media has been on the rise for the past 2 decades. Therefore, issues that come with social media, such as self-esteem, has been on the rise as well. Alongside using social media as a catalyst for self-esteem issues, it is also a place where people set unattainable standards for themselves and others. Many social media influencers use their profiles to create an unrealistic image of themselves. Many editing softwares and filters are used to achieve this perfect persona, which makes adolescents feel worse about their image or how they looked based on this pretense. Photoshop is one of the main mechanisms that celebrities and influencers use to portray this unattainable body image that their followers strive for. The effects of these images and unrealistic aspirations are devastating. Disordered eating is not an uncommon effect that stems from low self-esteem from social media. According to a study conducted in Australia and New Zealand, 51.6% of girls aged 13 to 14 with a social media account were likely to report disordered eating routines, such as skipping meals or strict exercising. 45% of boys of the same age were likely to report the same problems. Eating disorders are not something to take lightly and have detrimental effects on people all around the world. With influencers constantly promoting an ideal body that people want to strive for, teens specifically are more likely to change their eating and workout habits in order to fit this narrative. To end, I want to offer some advice for social media use. I am not telling you not to use social media, but healthy mechanisms to prevent lower self-esteem is key. Like I said, I love TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I am no exception to a lower self-esteem due to these platforms, but being self-aware about them makes it easier to spot and prevent. Throughout the course of this speech, I have reviewed self-esteem before and during social media, as well as the potential effects of this usage. Hopefully, with increased knowledge about the detrimental impacts of social media, you'll be able to prevent this from happening to yourself or your loved ones. Thank you.